This is the plaintiff, Laura Mikulinski. She says she and the defendant rented some retail space together and were going to have two separate businesses in one spot. She sold tiles and marble stones, and the defendant had a flooring company, so it seemed like a perfect fit. The defendant, however, decided to bail out of the deal, sticking her with all the bills when they'd been splitting everything like the rent, heat, and so on. Obviously, he isn't being fair, and she has no other choice but to sue him here and now for the $4,232.15 she's owed. This is the defendant, Kevin Tosta. He says the plaintiff's a crazy person who forced him out of the place they shared because of her erratic behavior. She threatened him, harassed him, and interrupted his ability to do business, and even locked him out of his own store during business hours. He had to get away from her and offered her a subtenant to occupy his space, but the plaintiff wouldn't hear of it. Bottom line, he did nothing wrong and thinks the judge will concur. He's accused of pulling out too soon.
Okay, Laura Mikulinski?
Yes.
You are suing Kevin Tosta?
Yes.
Okay. For $4,232.15 that you say he owes in expenses on a lease that the two of you agreed to go in on that, according to you, he has inappropriately bailed on. Tell me what's going on.
Kevin and I decided to go into business together.
How did you two know each other?
Kevin used to be a sales rep for a tile company that I have done business with for 13 years. He also, at one point, worked for me.
Okay. Were you friends?
Yes.
Okay. Were you, anything more than friends or no?
No.
Okay. And so what happens?
I was in business already for 9 years and kind of looking for a new location.
And what was your business?
Tile Designs by Laura, which is a store that sells tile, marble,
so
and
you
remodels.
actually sell the tile and marble?
I do.
And what business was he in?
Kevin was just going to sell all kinds of wood flooring, carpet, laminate, bamboo.
Not tiles?
No tile.
Oh, okay. So you'd have the tile side and he'd have other flooring.
Right. And I do have pictures here, Judge, that will show you the front of the store. It had a wall that split down the middle, and Kevin was on one side, I was on the other. But we did share a warehouse and some common space. I mean,
okay. May I see the pictures?
Yes.
So it was rented to you by the landlord as one unit?
One unit.
Okay. So a customer walks in through one set of doors and has access to both of your businesses.
Right.
And you figured that it'll be good for business for you, and he figures it'll be good for business for him.
Right.
How long a lease do you sign?
We signed a 5-year lease.
Okay. And that it goes well for how long?
It was September. He left in September of 2008.
Okay, so it goes well for just shy of 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and what makes it go wrong at the 2-year mark?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. I had a terrible illness during that time. I'm still on treatment right now, IV antibiotic for Lyme disease. So I've had a real tough wall of it. So I really didn't.
But that doesn't. I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah.
But what went wrong between the two of you?
Well, during that time I was out, it was hard because I wasn't there supervising what was going on.
What did he do wrong? Why were you two not getting along? Why did he want to leave? Can you tell me that, or you can't?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
When I was not in the store,
yes,
he would go on my side and sell tile to customers, and one of his witnesses that is here today would do the installations of the tile. So he was selling tile.
Okay, but sell your tile?
Selling tile.
Wait, but in other words, you'd make a cut because he was selling tile for you?
No, he didn't.
No, he would show them your tile samples, and then he'd get them from the manufacturer.
From the company that he used to work for, Judge.
Okay, okay. And he can't sell tile while you're selling tile? That was your agreement?
No, that was our agreement.
How did you find out that he was selling tile?
Well, sick in bed, I had somebody call me, a good friend of mine, telling me that they saw Kevin delivering tile on Hartford Turnpike, him and his father.
Okay. What evidence do you have that he did that?
I know he did it.
How do you know?
I know he did it, Judge.
How do you know?
The train of events was that he...
You suspect it? Because he's selling tile, and you have this beautiful sample sitting there.
Right.
Okay. So now he sells tile, you find out about it, and you feel it's disloyal, dishonest, you know.
Yes, very dishonest.
So
I was helping him.
Okay, do you confront him?
Yes, I do.
And what does he say?
Many times.
And what does he say? I'm not selling tile?
Yes.
Or he says, yes, I am. What are you going to do
No,
about
he says, I am not selling tile.
it? Okay. So you have a friend who spotted him selling tile. Mm-hmm. Did you ever see it yourself or see any evidence that he sold tile?
No, I never saw it myself. I just had people telling me.
Basically what we have is you suspect him of selling tile and he denies it.
Yes.
Okay, so now you no longer trust him. And now what is your perspective on this? She's accusing, were you selling tile?
I did not sell 1 square foot of tile.
Did somebody close to you sell tile that you were involved in delivering?
I did not deliver anything to Hartford Turnpike.
Were you ever in a truck in Hartford or wherever she was talking about?
Absolutely, unequivocally, no. I have not sold any ceramic tile. I sold everything else but tile. Laura sold the tile. I sold everything else.
Did you, in fact, have an agreement with her that you wouldn't sell tile?
Absolutely, we did. Just like she had a standing agreement that she wouldn't sell hardwood and laminate, the products that I represented.
Okay. And now, are one of these two gentlemen your dad?
Yes.
Which one?
The good-looking
Who wants
gentleman
to claim?
on the left.
Who wants? They're both good-looking. I don't know who you're talking about. Which one? Yellow shirt or white shirt?
Yellow shirt.
Now, what was it you said that the father had installed?
The father would go pick up the tile at the company.
How do you know this?
Because I've had the truck drivers tell me. I've had people
Did you have
come
any
to me
evidence
crying.
for me on it?
No, I don't.
Okay. Did you ever pick up tile?
That's a lie.
Okay.
What I did for her was, if she had a customer for tile, I would load it for her. I would not let a woman pick up tile, so I would do it for her. I ran errands for her and everything else. I don't know why she's making up these stories.
What went wrong, do you think? Tell me your side.
So she doesn't have any proof other than what she says other people told her. Is that enough?
No, if there's no proof of loss, it doesn't seem like you have a case.
What do you think, sir?
I agree. I think she needs more substantial evidence than that.
All she's got is what people are telling her. Enough?
No, not at all.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I think Laura has a strong personality. She likes to be very controlling. She unfortunately had her daughter working there, and it just became very disruptive.
Her daughter was how? Why was her daughter?
They would just be shouting matches, swearing. They disrupt the daily retail business. Tell me what time to close. Tell me what time to open. What I should do. What I shouldn't do. Accuse my customers of not buying tile from her.
What do you mean accuse your customers?
There was a young woman in there that came in that had bought tile from somebody else, and he said, well, why would you buy tile from them? Why wouldn't you buy it from me? And you have to buy it from me because you know Kevin. I just think it went wrong. Laura.
So when did you decide you wanted out? How bad did it get?
Well, I am a thin male, but I tell you, I lost a lot of weight. So when I dropped about 15 pounds in weight, and I went home every night and told my wife I couldn't go back the next day, even though I owned the business, I knew it was time to get out. So I begged a distributor that I worked with to give me a job. And I did, but I didn't walk away from my responsibilities to the landlord or to Ms. Mikulinski.
Okay, tell me about that.
So I subleased the space with a signed document from the landlord and myself, a 3-year lease to Mr. Atwell, who was to take over half the rent, half the lights, and half the heat. And he did that for 4 months until Ms. Mikulinski, unfortunately, did the same thing to him.
Now, when that happened, did you try to find another tenant?
Absolutely.
And tell me about that.
I found a ready, willing, and able and qualified leasee to rent the space, approved by the landlord, and presented that to Ms. Mikulinski. She dragged her feet, unfortunately, for about 3.5 weeks. He had asked around and was told that it would be a bad move for him to occupy space with Ms. Mikulinski.
Because she's difficult?
Yes. She would just be very controlling, very demeaning.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it was a bit of a zoo there, to be honest with you. It was
Ms. Mikulinski,
unfortunate.
he's describing a situation where it would be very difficult to conduct a business when you're being constantly accused of violating the business rules. He describes a situation where he tried to get you not one but 2 people who would take over the payments so that you wouldn't end up high and dry. Mm-hmm. And according to him and his witness, you just won't have it. You won't mitigate your damages. You won't put yourself in a position where you won't have this loss that you're coming to court about because you don't play well with others. True or not true?
Not true, Judge. The whole thing starts with the selling of the tile.
Which you can't prove. Both of them deny that that's true, and they say you're crazy. That's what they say. They say she's making it up. I don't know who she's listening to, but it's not true, and then she keeps accusing us. We can't live like this. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
And now, so can you prove to me that they're buying tile? Can you prove to me that they are undermining your business the way you're saying?
No.
Okay. The question then is, whose fault is it that it got this bad? You say it's his fault because he was selling tile. He says, Judge, I never sold tile. Will you please have her prove it? Can she show? And you can't. You've got all these spies everywhere, not one of whom writes an affidavit for you for court. And so where are we? We have this breaking up because you are accusing him of something you can't prove, and he doesn't want to live like this anymore, to the point where he goes home every day and tells his wife, I don't want to go to work in the morning. It's my business. That's how she's making me. Then I've got a second person who says she did the same thing to me, Judge. You are not on good ground here, ma'am. You're just not. You know, I don't know whether you may feel 100% justified in thinking that everybody's against you, or you may just be wrong and make life impossible. But either way, I believe that based on the facts that I have heard, that he has discharged his business relationship with you, and he has done everything that he can do trying to bring you people to rent that place that you won't accept, welcome, or embrace. And then you wouldn't be out all this money. I find that through no fault of his own, this has had to be broken. And I am not going to order him to pay you that money. That's my verdict.
Just hold on right there, please.
Well, the defendant has won this verdict, and this is the plaintiff coming out here. Step right over here. Tell me, are you really that impossible to work with,
No, I'm
as
not.
it sounds?
No.
He's just making all this stuff up about
Yes.
you? Why are you going through partners so quickly like that? What
They
happened?
weren't partners. It was two separate businesses. He wasn't a partner.
And you couldn't find one of your own, and so now what's the
not
situation?
really. No, I'm happy by myself
All
in the
right.
building
All right, fair enough.
for another
Okay.
2 years.
Till the lease runs out?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, right down this way, all right? So come on in here. You weren't even looking at her as she's talking to me, facing the other way. Why, you don't even want to look at her?
Well, we were friends at one point, but unfortunately things went bad, and I just choose not to associate with Laura anymore, business or personal.
Did you agree with him? She's just, what? How would you just...
Very impossible to work next to her or be in business near her or anything, any doings with her at all.
Come on over here. You know, don't wander over there. Just stand over here next to him, and stand right next to him. And what was your association with her? What was your experience with her? Your experience?
Brutal.
Brutal?
A lot of lies. We had the cops. We got our lives threatened. That didn't come out. I don't know why.
Oh.
It's all documented. So.
All right, so you're better off out of there. Are you still in the business?
He moved the business down the street. He's much better off, and we're going to move on and
All
do
right.
our thing.
All right, take it, Harvey.
Short story, she harassed him so much he really did have a right to break the lease and move out. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.